Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 465, and we're here live in Southwest Florida in my beautiful tropical backyard. It may look like it's beautiful here, but it literally just stopped pouring. It's been pouring hard for hours. In fact, I want to say maybe since 2 a.m. So there was no chance that I was going to risk going to the beach, and now it's cleared up. So hey, at least I have lots of goodies to show you today, and it made more sense to do that in the backyard than the beach anyway. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Hi, Grace and Melissa, Joe, Judy, Naomi. Thanks for joining live, everybody. Hi, Becky. Hi, Barbara. You know when you're growing your hair out, like all of a sudden you'll notice it's grown? I feel like all of a sudden today I've noticed that I don't have a bob anymore. My hair's growing. Yay! Hi, Pamela and Annette and Janet. Thanks for joining live. Hi, Christine and Margaret and Evelyn from Pompano Beach. That's not that far, about 3 hours northeast. Hi, Sherry, Mary, and Linda and Margaret and Naomi. Thanks, Joe. It feels like it started to grow. I'm excited. I think it was here when I got it cut. Hi, Brenda. I go back and forth. I never get a trim when I cut it off. I always cut it off because I feel like the ends have gone really fine and really sparse. So I cut it off to get a good, healthy cut, and then I start growing it back out again because I do love my long hair for braids and other things. Hi, Annie and Shelly. Thanks for joining live. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully you had a good weekend. Welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 465. I can't believe how close we are to 500. Just amazing and crazy all at the same time. If you're joining me live, please say hello. We are in beautiful tropical Southwest Florida in my backyard. I hear a little bit of birds singing. They're probably just coming out from the storm. We had horrible storms all night long. Do we have kitties? Yes, we have kitties too, but they're not feeling camera friendly at the moment. That's okay. If anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I've got lots to share with you this morning, and we're even going to do surgery on the garment that I'm wearing. Speaking of the garment I'm wearing, let me stand up so I can show you what I have on. I have on a tank dress that's from my Amazon shop that comes in tons and tons of colors. When I first bought it, I thought I could only wear it with Spanx and lots of layers, and this morning I'm wearing it without Spanx, but still with a layer. Anyway, it's just a, not quite fitted, but definitely form-fitted tank dress, but it's just t-shirt material, so it's super duper light. This is the navy, and I'm wearing it with my Wandering Love knit lace vest over the top, which is super cute with it. I love this together. I feel like I could definitely wear this out anywhere that I wanted to go with cute shoes. And you notice here we have a little funny thing here over the boob, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that today with a tiny little crochet hook. So we're going to do a little bit of surgery here. But before we do that, I thought I'd show you some colors that I have in stock of Be So Fine yarn. This pattern comes in lots of sizes, and it's worked in Be So Fine yarn, which is my #1 fingering weight 100% bamboo yarn. And as you are probably already aware, it comes in tons of beautiful solid colors. And this morning I thought it would be fun to show you some of the variegated colors that are still in stock, because you know the variegated colors are always limited edition. Solid colors are always in stock. The limited edition variegated colors are not always in stock, and they change. So I wanted to give you a quick reminder of what is in stock right now. So we have some plumeria left, and we have some backyard bougainvillea left. We have a little bit of seashells. She sells seashells. I think there's only one of that left. And did I bring them outside of the... Okay, so we have Carnival, These are ready to ship. So all of these beautiful yarns come wound into a center pull ball with a drawstring bag and a pot of Wrapture, all natural, delicate wash. So here's the backyard bougainvillea. Here's Carnival. I have some Shishugi Bond left and Plumeria, and then all of the solid colors. Oh, and then all of the solid colors that are always in stock. And those also come in the drawstring bags with center pull ball and a pot of Wrapture. Then quick reminder that the other yarn that would be super duper easy to substitute for this project would be Be So Lush yarn or Be So Fine Bling. And I do have a couple of colors left in these few colorways. So this is Sunrise 06. This would be so pretty for this vest. I have Sunrise 07. And then we have Feisty Flamingo, also really beautiful. So Be So Fine Bling is the yarn that is the same yarn as Be So Fine yarn, #1 fingering weight, 100% bamboo yarn, but it has a thread of pure silver, not synthetic Lurex. This is pure silver applied right into the yarn. Just gorgeous and amazing. Anyway, you can find this pattern on my website. It's called Wandering Love Knit Lace Vest. And when the podcast is over, I will update a link to the yarns we talked about as well as the vest in the video description. Now, without further ado, let's do a little surgery. I'm going to try to do the surgery while wearing it. I don't know if it'll work or not. I might have to take it off. But I was going to show you how I would try to do this, because if I was wearing it and saw this in the mirror, I would probably start fooling with it without taking it off. So what happened here is some stitches down here got a little bit tight. There is no hole here and there is no damage to the yarn. It has just been, looks like it was snagged, but the beauty of this type of a snag is that it didn't break the yarn. So it is entirely possible that I can loosen up the super tight stitches and then spread that tension around to the stitches that are loose on the sides of it. So it looks like this stitch right below the hole is the one that is super duper tight. So I'm trying to get the crochet hook into it, and it's so tight that I'm only grabbing into the row below. So if I can just keep loosening that, I can possibly get to the stitch that is in question. I think I got it. Yes, I did get it. Okay, so we've started loosening up the stitch that's super tight. And so now we need to go find the stitches on either side of it to try to move some of that extra yarn into those stitches instead. And then what I'm going to end up doing is just like going around the clock, doing the whole perimeter of that big loose hole and see if I can work it that way. Worst case scenario is that I would have to get a little piece of yarn and do like a darning fix where I just tighten up this whole area with a little piece of yarn and then weave in the loose ends. But I'm hoping that I don't need to do that. I'm hoping that with a little patience and just sliding these stitches around, I can make a difference. This one's really bad, you guys. I'm not getting the results that I wanted so far. Yeah, I think I might have to take it off to do this. But what I wanted to show you is that what I'm doing is the proper technique. Whether it's going to work or not while I'm wearing it is beside the point. I'm still showing you the proper technique for trying to... I might need to put this under my magnifying lens too. That could be the other problem, is that I might not be going into the right holes because this is really blurry for me at this angle. So I might end up taking it off, doing this under my magnifying lens. And then, like I said, the worst case scenario would be that I will end up having to darn the hole. It's a little bit better. A little bit. No, not really. Okay, I'm gonna give up now because this is not working. And that's a good thing to realize too. When you realize something isn't working, stop doing it, because the more you manipulate something, the more likely you are to damage it. So the fact that I'm still fussing with it means I could end up compromising the yarn or the stitch work just by fooling with it so much. So what I'm going to do is put that on hold until I can go and sit under my magnifying lens with the garment off and see if I can see up close if I'm missing something, because my eyesight's not working that great for this up close work right now. If that works, fine. If it doesn't, then I will end up sewing a little hole, sewing it on. So I'll keep you updated on this, and we can talk about it in tomorrow's podcast as well. Does anybody have any questions so far? I kind of like when things don't go right live, because I really think it's really important to show you that things don't go right all the time. And it's perfectly fine if your first attempt at fixing something doesn't go right either. It doesn't mean it's not fixable. It just means you have to regroup and course correct and figure out another way to fix something. It's okay. So I always like that. I always love that element of live, that it shows you that not everything's perfect and it's okay. But I'll wait before continuing to see if there's any questions. Yes, Brenda, it's too pretty to take the chance of getting frustrated and getting too rough with it. When you realize, what do you use if you don't have that yarn available? Well, I did just mention that it's a #1 fingering weight yarn, so I guess that would be the way to substitute. That's generally the way to substitute, is to go by the yarn weight and then try to find your gauge from there. Those are the general rules for substitution, which is why I always list the weight of yarn when I talk about which yarns I use in the projects. I do that with all of my patterns. Hi, Edna. Great question. If anyone has any other questions, please let me know. I have new yarn to show you this morning too. New colors, I will say. So I dyed some Be So Soulful yarn over the weekend, and I wanted to show you the new colors. And I'm going to show you a sneak preview of a new project that's going to be with this yarn, mixed together with Be So Dazzling sequin yarn, and then we're going to look and see which colors look good with which sequins. So you know how I released the single crochet PDF tutorial last week, and I know lots of you have downloaded it and are super excited about it. If anybody would like to email me a testimonial about it, I would love to share your testimonial on the page, on the product page. So if anybody would like to share that with me in an email, I would be more than happy to share your testimonial there, because I know other people are probably looking to hear what other people have to say besides me. So if you could email me, give me your permission to use your testimonial, I would love to share that on the product page. So going forward, I told you we're going to have lots more stitch patterns done in this tutorial format, and so the next one coming is a beautiful 2-row 8 multiple stitch pattern done in all of those shapes. Plus there'll be some gorgeous patterns to go along with it, and it'll still only be $3.99 like the first tutorial. Then the one after that is going to be half double crochet, which will look a lot like the single crochet one, but I'll be showing you how to do all the really fabulous shapes: top-down triangle increasing, a square, a rectangle, even in rows, even in rounds, and then what else is there? And hexagon and circle, and all those different shapes, plus all of the 90+ pattern suggestions for the different shapes. Plus there'll be a pattern at the end of the PDF, and this is going to be the pattern at the end of the PDF. I made a wristlet evening clutch, and it's done with 1 ball of Be So Soulful yarn held together with 1 ball of Be So Dazzling yarn, which is the sequin yarn. How gorgeous is that? And then I found a wristlet chain on Amazon, and I'll be sharing all of that with you when the pattern comes out, but just wanted to give you a sneak preview of what will be coming in the next few days with that PDF. And so now I'll show you the new colors that I just dyed in Be So Soulful yarn. So Be So Soulful yarn is my #2 sport weight sock yarn. One hank, which will be wound into a center pull ball when you order it, is enough to make any pair of standard size socks. But you can also use sock yarn for all sorts of other things, like the beautiful lace vest that's on the cover of Layers Knit. You can substitute it for any #2 sport weight pattern that is knit or crocheted. It's super soft, has beautiful loft to it, and this is the first colorway I'm going to show you this morning. This is Fern, which has some beautiful forest green and little shadows and hints of other greens. I think you can see the color variation better in the twisted format. So first I'll show you the colors, and then I'll show you how they look next to the different colors of sequins, if you want to consider any of them for the clutch that's coming soon. This is Denim, which has all different shades of beautiful, like muted teal blue and different shades of faded denim. So beautiful. And then we have Mixed Berries, which has several different shades of pink blended together. And in all of my variegated yarns, I hand massage the colors together so that they transition beautifully. This is Mixed Berries. Oh, Barb is using Soulful yarn for her Mary shawl. That's wonderful. It is so soft. It is incredibly soft. This is a blend of Sonora and bamboo yarn. The Sonora replaces the nylon in a traditional sock yarn, and it has, which is very eco-friendly. And here is Shushugi Ban, done in Be So Soulful yarn. This is the first time I've done this colorway in sock yarn, which will be gorgeous for that clutch, but I think it would be beautiful for a pair of unisex socks. These would be beautiful for men or women in socks. I know lots of people have enjoyed the blues and the greens for unisex socks before too. And then we have some Lime Splash left still as well. This is from the last batch of colors that we did over the summer, so this would be really great for the clutch as well. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, it's #2 sock weight yarn. Okay, so here are our 6 colors of Be So Dazzling yarn. We've got the fuchsia and turquoise, lime green, black, silver, and gold. Okay, so now, I would suggest the black or the silver or the gold for Shushugi Ban. I think that with the lime splash, I think the lime sequins or the gold or silver or the turquoise would all be really beautiful with the lime. And I'm happy to pull together anyone's suggestions as well. So with the Mixed Berries, I think fuchsia would be great, or gold and silver. Any one of these would be great with the Mixed Berries. Unless you want to do a contrast, then if you wanted to do contrast, either the turquoise or the lime would be beautiful with that as well. With denim, the turquoise looks really beautiful, and then you could also go with gold or silver. All of those would be pretty. And just a quick reminder, this is because we have a new pattern coming up, the new wristlet clutch that uses 1 ball of Be So Soulful yarn held together with 1 ball of Be So Dazzling sequin yarn. Look at how that's gonna sparkle when you wear it. So you wear it on your wrist and boom, it just sparkles like crazy every time you move. It's gonna be a great evening clutch for any of your special outings. And then we'll go to Fern, And then with fern, I think you could go with lime, you could go with the turquoise. I think even the black might be cool. And then gold and silver. And the gold and silver would be great too. I just dropped one. So any of those. So that's a sneak preview of a pattern coming very, very soon. If anybody's interested, we could also, because this is a #2 yarn, all of the new colors of Be So Sporty yarn, all of the fall colors would look really great in that pattern as well. So if anybody wants to see these new colors side by side with some of the Dazzling yarns, I could do that too. Does anybody want to see the new colors of Be So Sporty on next to the Dazzling? Yes, you can mix Dazzling yarn with any yarn, so you can mix the sequins with anything. Yes, you can mix it with Be So Fine yarn. Absolutely, be great for shawls or a vest like this, anything. You really can't go wrong adding sequins to anything, not in my opinion. But I have all of the new Be So Sporty yarn colors here too, if anybody wants to see them side by side with some of the sequins yarn. So, yep, someone wants to see the coral. Okay, so sure. I think you could probably do just about all of them with the coral. So here's the coral with raspberry, with turquoise, and with lime. And then I think you could always, if you're ever in doubt, the gold and silver would be amazing with any of the colors. Someone wants to see purple. Okay. Again, I think the purple would go with absolutely any color. If Sporty can mix with any Be So Fine, I don't know what you mean by mix. Do you mean holding them together, or do you mean substituting, because they're different weight yarns? So you would have to adjust your gauge accordingly, and it would be thinner or thicker depending on which way you're going. So here's the gentle violet with the black, the silver, and the gold. And I think it would also be pretty contrast with the raspberry, the lime, and the turquoise. I don't think you can really go wrong with either matching or contrasting. Any of those would be beautiful. Any of these would just really pop on the purple. Does anybody, oh, and then we've got some that match even. Let me grab the other ones. This is kind of interesting. Well, not kind of, it is interesting. Okay, so raspberry coulis, for example. Let's see, maybe we'll even twist it. Get it in a twist first. Now, if you're asking about holding Be So Fine and Be So Sporty together, just together, you would get a different weight yarn too. You probably get closer to a DK weight as far as substituting patterns, but if you're doing something that doesn't require gauge, like a top-down shawl, then you would just make it to the size that you need as well. So there really is no wrong way to do that. So the raspberry sequins matches really well with raspberry coulis, Be So Sporty yarn, but then any of the other colors would be beautiful contrast. The lime would be gorgeous. The turquoise would be gorgeous. So imagine those colored sequins popping off of the bright raspberry yarn. It would be just stunning. And then can't go wrong with gold or silver. And even the black would be cool. Really can't go wrong with any color doing that. Okay, so the other colors we have left are red maple, all spruced up, London blue topaz, and golden child. If anybody would like to see those lined up with sequins, let me know. I'll take any suggestions you have, any requests. Black dazzling with Shushugi bond. Yeah, I did that one earlier, but sure, I'll do it again. Yeah, this would go, I think you could go with gold or silver, and definitely the black. Actually, black or silver, either one would be fantastic with the Shushugi bond. Okay, we'll do the gold. The gold would be obviously be great with the gold. Yeah, the black one looks really pretty with the black sequins. So with the gold, I mean, it'd be a no-brainer to add gold sequins to it. That would be so dressy for evening. Ooh, it's getting hot out here. Can you see my face go shiny like immediately? My arms are getting there too. But you could even go contrast on this. Silver would still be pretty. If any of you like to mix gold and silver jewelry together like I do, mixing the silver sequins would be really cool with the gold yarn. The black has lots of different colors, including gold in it, so that would be cool. And then you could still go contrast. But I think I like the neutral colors better on that one. Oh, I brought Chantilly lace this morning because I wanted to say that this looks just as luxe as can be with either gold or silver. You can't go wrong doing something for evening with white and gold and silver. Well, it's not white, it's like creamy color, but still. Yep, the black has like rainbow sequins through it. The rest of them have the color I mentioned as the sequin color. So the lime is lime sequins, the turquoise is turquoise sequins, the raspberry is raspberry sequins. What am I missing? Oh, the two in my hands. Then we have silver sequins and gold sequins. Yeah, so mixing Chantilly lace with gold or silver is just so luxe and rich and expensive and very goddess-like, in my opinion. And then we've got all spruced up here. Could you make tassels with the Dazzling? You could, but you have to keep in mind that the sequins are threaded onto the yarn, so unless you tied knots in the bottom of it, which you could absolutely do if you tied little knots in the bottom of it, I think that would preserve your fringe over time. Or you could do looped fringe, or you could do twisted fringe. But if you were going to just cut it as fringe, I would definitely tie the ends to make sure that the yarn preserves its shape and doesn't unravel at all. But that's the case with any yarn. Any yarn that you're afraid of unraveling for fringe, if you just tie a tiny little knot at the end of it, it will stop it from fraying. And it really does open up your world to lots of different yarns for fringe that you wouldn't necessarily think of. Okay, so here is all spruced up. I think the black would be great. I think silver would be great with this one. Gold would also be great. Ooh, gold has like a mermaid look to it. I love those together. But then, I mean, let's see what the contrast colors look like. Ooh, I actually like turquoise a lot with it. That's not contrast at all. The lime's a little contrasty, and obviously the pink is. Okay, and then we just have two left. Let's go for it. So then we've got red maple. I'm curious to see how red maple will look with raspberry or with the fuchsia. It's possible, yeah. Depends on what kind of outfit you're trying to match with or what look you're going for, but I think that that could work. I think that gold and silver is absolutely a no-brainer, and I think gold is definitely, because this is such a warm color, I think gold is where it's at. Rainbow would work too. I'm not so sure about lime and turquoise unless you had a specific look you were going for. But they're not bad. Just wouldn't be my first choice. I think I would pick gold over everything else for that one. And then the last color here is London Blue Topaz. So let's see what this looks good with regarding the sequins. Oh man, it's hot. Oh, and as far as mixing yarns together, I also wanted to mention that, you know, bling yarn would be absolutely amazing with sequin too. Imagine putting any of the bling yarns with sequin to do a really sparkly outfit or accessory. It would be absolutely stunning. So between the silver and the sequins, that would really, really be gorgeous. And you can't go wrong with gold. If you're unsure of a color, you can't go wrong with gold and silver. They look great with all of the yarns, or you can try one of the other colors. Okay, so with London Blue Topaz, turquoise looks fantastic with it. I think lime is a pretty good contrast. Unless you were going for a certain look, I don't know if I'd pick raspberry for that. The black, maybe. Gold and silver, no brainer. So my choices for that one would be gold and silver and the turquoise for sure. For sure. Does anybody have any questions or want to see anything else side by side? I know we went over a lot. It was just fun. I like mixing and matching colors. It's fun. Look how sweaty I am. I'll wait a second, see if there's any questions. Grace likes the red, gold, and green sporty. Yes, they are very pretty. I agree. Thank you. No, no AC out here. This is all just a screened-in porch. But it's great. I love it out here. It's kind of like being outside. Oh, well, the beauty of it is that it's outside for the kitties, so I get to share the backyard with the kitties. And we have 3 walls of screen out here, so it really does feel like you're super duper outside. Oh, Grace wants to see red, gold, and green. Sorry, I misunderstood you. How's that for a fall combo? A fall trio. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Oh man, we're out of time. And I actually have to be somewhere right now. So let's quickly pick a number between 1 and 5. Thanks, Grace. I love it too. Let's pick a number between 1 and 5, and I will randomly pick a quote. Carol says 4. Let's do it. Ooh, love this one. I needed this one this weekend. I was working on a project and just really couldn't find the answer, so I backburnered it. But Thomas Edison has something to say about it, which I totally needed, which is why I believe in backburnering projects instead of giving up on them in the first place. So from Thomas Edison, when you have exhausted all possibilities, remember this: you haven't. I love this. This not only reminds me that there's always hope, but it also like rekindles a fire in my belly to remind me that it's okay to stay passionate about something and enthusiastic about something, even when you have no idea how you're going to get there. I love this. Thank you, Thomas Edison. I needed this today, but I also love this every single time I see it. It just gives me so much energy and so much hope about anything. Okay, thank you, Thomas Edison. When you have exhausted all possibilities, remember this: you haven't. Oh, I love it. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise, all the show and tells we talked about, even the sneak peek for something coming new, the little bit of surgery that we performed on my top, and we'll get back to that another day. I will post links in the video description in a little while to tell you about everything that we talked about today, including this pattern and all the different yarns we talked about. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.